My name is Rachel Kaufman. I work at TSG Consulting. I'm Vice President, Director of Creative Services here. We are a small PR firm, lobbyist firm. So we do a lot of public relations campaigns, also political strategy campaigns, grassroots issues campaigns, and also we lobby. TSG Consulting's a very interesting type business. We do a lot of governmental affairs, but we also have a public relations arm, and sometimes those coincide and sometimes they don't. This is what I kind of like about agency work. You never know what your projects are really going to be. You have your retainer clients, and then you have your pop-up projects. And your pop-up projects, to me, are the ones that are the most fun because you're not prepared for them, but they just kind of come as is needed. Our special projects that come up, it could be anywhere from the neighborhood market fight that was out in Taze Valley earlier this summer. We were hired to do all the press for that, for the group that didn't want the Walmart to go in beside them. We did a lot of like grassroots kind of community relations type work to get people out, and we were able to help, coordinate some speeches, and so those are just type of the special projects that we do. We have a few national clients that we do a lot of media relations for their special events, and that's cool because I get to work on pitching in bigger markets such as Atlanta, Seattle, and DC, that I wouldn't have that experience if we didn't have those types of clients. It's really a funny story how I kind of got here. All through high school I thought I was going to be a marine biologist because I really like science and I really like the ocean, so that was what I was going to do. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that maybe I didn't want to claim fish tanks. So I started to look at other things. I'd always really liked the TV show Bewitched. And Darren always worked at an ad agency. So I was like, well, maybe I want to go into advertising because that seems really fun. And I like to be creative, and I've always been a creative person. I've always been involved in the arts. I kind of was just looking, and I found a bunch of career magazines that highlighted public relations, and I didn't really know what it was, but I was like, you know what, maybe this sounds cool. It sounds like I'll have a way to be creative and also kind of do a journalism type aspect. So I just kind of was like, I'll try this PR thing, and if I don't like it, then maybe I'll change. And I really liked it. The original field of PR, what I really went to school for, was to focus more on sports related public relations. I did a lot of internships during my time at Marshall in sports-related fields with the West Virginia Power, at ISP Sports at Marshall, which is now IMG. And then I kind of fell into politics was always something that I kind of enjoyed. I had political science classes at Marshall, so it was always in the back of my mind. A job after I graduated that was related to college apparel and sports marketing, and I didn't really like it as well as I thought. And so I found this job, and I thought, well, I've always had, politics has always been a kind of a side interest of mine. Let me see where it goes from there. And 6 years later, it's something that I really enjoy. I love coming to work, and I think that my education I got at Marshall really helped prepare me for that, because we did a lot of, on class assignments, kind of in the field kind of type work, and a lot of the time at the Parthenon really helped me realize like what news the media wants when you try to go pitch a story. So I think when you're on that side of it, and then you come over on the PR side, you really understand what it is that reporters want. My job has changed a lot just from social media. I mean, when I graduated Marshall and I went through the whole public relations program at Marshall, social media had not really existed in a way that it does now, where we have access to it 24/7. Facebook was only 2 years old. It was only for college students back then. It was not used as a marketing tool whatsoever. The iPhone just came out, and so we didn't have the constant access to apps that we do. So it's always, the classes that you all may have now that incorporates, integrated marketing. I didn't have that. So, it's kind of like, I'm not a generation behind, but there is kind of a gap in what my education was as far as these tools now that we use. So now it's just learning it based on how I use them and trying to keep up with all the latest trends. But it's just going out there, learning, and constantly learning, because I think PR is one of those professions that you can't stay stagnant at. You have to constantly, continue your education and keep up with on all the new trends of how to get your message out to the public. I think technology has helped the field of public relations. I think it's kind of made public relations and advertising and marketing not so segmented, and I think it's kind of brought them together to integrate them. I think there's more of a cohesive kind of environment now. I deal a lot with PR and advertising kind of mixed together. A lot of the campaigns that we do, I end up also, we've kind of added our arm to our business here in the last 3 years of where we're going out and actually shooting videos. And so a lot of storyboarding on my end, and a lot of kind of like learning how to cut and paste the videos, which is something I didn't think I would be doing, but it's fun to kind of incorporate those into our campaigns. And the more that Facebook and Instagram and all that and Twitter become more video content heavy, we do a lot of side, like small videos as well for some of our clients that are just like 45 seconds or a minute long, and all of those are done in-house. So we're seeing a lot of kind of like, we do a lot of campaigns, but then we also do a lot of the ads for our campaigns. My career has definitely made me a better person. And I will say that because when I chose this back a long time ago when I was 18, I was very shy. And all of my family members were very confused of why I wanted to go into relating to the public when I wasn't that great of a people person. I was very shy. But I think, you know, Marshall really got that out of me, and I think that I would have probably not been as fearless to take chances in my life without, you know, pushing me to be better. Going at the Parthenon, having to interview people, it was really getting me out of that comfort zone, and I really had to like struggle to realize what it was. But once I got comfortable with asking people questions and going out with meeting people, I found out that it's not as scary as it seems. But you know, in my job, I never know what a day-to-day is going to be like sometimes, and I enjoy that. And I think it's, as far as me personally, I think I've grown so much as a person and a professional in this realm because of all the different aspects of my job that I've had to do. I would recommend public relations as a field, especially for people who aren't locked in to want to do one thing. If you kind of are a heavy multitasker and you like being out and kind of doing different things every day, the people, I'm that type of person. I don't think I would be happy in being in a stagnant kind of environment where I do the same thing and I know what the routine is. I kind of think monotony is a very, very horrible thing. So I think this is a perfect career for me. I think the problem with public relations is it can be so overwhelming. And I think the challenge here in West Virginia is there's this perception that there aren't that many public relations jobs. And I think that's a wrong perception, because I always know of people out there looking, and you may find public relations hidden in other types of jobs, whether it's nonprofit or kind of real estate work, politics. I mean, there's aspects of PR that everyone can give that, you know, whether it's media buying or just communication skills, and I think that a lot of jobs in the state you don't realize they offer, and I think a lot of people move away and not thinking they can get a good job here. The advice I have for someone that is just starting out and looking to pursue a career in public relations would be just to really, in order to relate to the public, I think you really need to understand the public. So I think it's not so much as going out and being so entrenched in your textbooks, but also go out, people watch, you know, go out and see what people are doing, talk to a bunch of different types of people. And I really would suggest, I mean, I do travel a lot, and I think that that's helped me in my job, being able to immerse in different cultures and come back and see how the best way to kind of communicate to all those people, because we're all the same, but we're all different. My other suggestion would be to kind of figure out what segment of public relations you want to do. Don't feel like you have to figure it out right away. You can figure it out as you go, and sometimes, you know, you may want to change careers, and I think that's what's the beauty of public relations. I would suggest do as many internships as you can, just even if they're small, just to see if that kind of work or that kind of realm of PR is something you'd be interested in. There's a lot of stuff that Marshall or just colleges in general may not prepare you for. Is I think the bad side of public relations, especially, you are doing sometimes it's not so glamorous, sometimes it is, but there's a lot of letter stuffing. I'm 7 years in and I still had to stuff 500 envelopes last week, and it may not always be you know, glamorous, but you have to do what your clients want you know, need to get done. And I think it's important when you're in college to kind of branch out from your comfort zone. I remember something that President Kopp said to our class when we came in for orientation that's always stuck with me. He said that when you find yourself comfortable in life, change, because comfortability doesn't always mean success. You have to get out of your comfort zone to really know where you're actually going to be comfortable. You have to push yourself, and it may not always be pleasant, but you have to do that. And I've kind of always had that stay with me even throughout my career and in my professional and personal life. So I would just say that, you know, if you think you want to do one segment of public relations or just anything right now, try a bunch of different things.